Hi all, welcome to Web Techies. Thanks for watching my channel, and thanks for subscribing to my channel. If not, please subscribe to my channel and support my channel and press the bell icon to get notified. In this video, we are going to see JavaScript functions, JavaScript functions, function scope and block scope, parameter and arguments, function hoisting, return value. A function is a block of code that performs a specific task. When we want to write a set of code that should perform a specific task, for example, perform calculate, perform convert parenthesis to Fahrenheit. A function in programming is a component of a program that carries out a certain task. A function is a particular kind of method or routine in this meaning. In certain programming languages, there are some differences between a procedure and a function, where a function returns a value and a procedure performs some activities without returning a value. There are several built-in functions that are preserved in a library that is available in the majority of programming and scripting languages. In addition, you may create your own custom function, often known as a user-defined function or UDF, to carry out certain activities. Functions are a key building component in JavaScript, just like they are in other programming and scripting languages. In software, functions are repeatedly utilized, which saves time while creating a website. A function must be defined someplace in the scope from which it will be called in order to be used. It's easy to define your own function in JavaScript.
In this video, we are going to see what is function. Function is a block of code that performs certain task. That means, for example, if you want to greet a people when they log into the website or application, so where you can greet the user with the help of the functions. And if you want to convert parenthesis to celsius to parenthesis, so where you can use a function and we can give our code inside the function. So the function, the key points of the functions are, it's basically reduce the repetition of the code, makes the code much easier and to maintain. These are the key points of what we are going to use with the help of function. So there are three ways of writing function. So if you see here, we have the first way, it's a simple way where we have the function and this is a keyword where the function is called, and this is the function name. So this by default we have to give this way. This is a basic way. And the second way and the modern way and all, this is the second way, like where we have the const and we have to give the function name, and this is the keyword again. And the third way is the const, here the function name, and this is an arrow function. But in this video, we are going to see only the first function method. So for example here, as I already told, the function is a keyword and this is a function name, right? So let's say for example I want to so currently I'm just deleting this since that is not needed here. So function greet. So what are going to do is like document welcome to Web Techies. So what will happen here is, when we are invoking this method, it will display in the browser. If suppose if I'm not invoking, if I'm not calling this function, I'm just saving this just like that. Currently you can see it's not showing here. But if I call, we have to call, because once we created the function, we have to call by default. So I'm just uncommenting that greet method. So now I'm saving this. Here you can see welcome to Web Techies. So this is like where we can use. See, once we created a function, we can use this function throughout the page wherever we want. we can able to call this method wherever we want. That's the major use of the function. In upcoming videos, like upcoming slides, we're going to see how to call the parameters, arguments, and all.
Function scope, a variable declared within a function, is only used within that function and cannot be utilized outside of it. Block scope, when a variable is declared inside of an switch, for, or while condition or loop, it is available only within that specific condition or loop. The variables defined inside curly brackets are referred to as being within block scope for clarity. Parameter variables listed in the function specification are known as parameters. The variables that are listed in the function declaration are the parameters in JavaScript. We use the parameters listed in the function specification when we build a function. It is possible to put many parameters inside the parentheses, separated by commas. Argument, when a function is called, it receives arguments in the form of values. The value we pass to a function is known as the argument of a function. Arguments are provided to the function when we call it.
We are going to see the parameters and argument in the functions. So first, let me create a basic HTML tag. So here I'm going to have the script tag. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a function that is a keyword in JavaScript. Now I'm going to give the function keyword name, that is adding numbers. So open bracket, close bracket, and we have to put the curly brackets, open and close. So now inside this open bracket, close bracket, I'm going to give the parameters. So the parameters what I'm going to give is add 1, add 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the numbers. So for that, document, this is my method, inside the document at right of add 1 plus add 2, and I'm going to put a semicolon here. Now I'm going to call the method, then only it will work. If you're not calling, so the method won't work. So here adding number, and here I'm going to give some two numbers, 23, 34. Let us see how it is working. Now I'm going to save this one. Pressing it, you can see the value as 57. We can give multiple parameters here. So let's say, for example, let us see how we can add three numbers. Add 3 plus add 3. Now here put a comma 45. So you can see 1 or 2. Now let us try one more thing. Now if you want to try to add a number, just giving multiple 1, and here just going to put into multiple 1, and here comma 34. Let us see whether it is working or not. See, we got the result. So how it is calculating is 24 plus 24 plus 23 plus 34 plus 45 into 34. So that is the output of this value. So this is where we can give the parameters and arguments. The parameters, these are the parameters, and these are the arguments for the arguments actually. Okay.
Despite the fact that hoisting makes it appear as though the declaration has advanced in the program, what actually occurs is that the function and variable declarations are added to memory during the compilation stage. Before code execution starts, the JavaScript technique known as hoisting raises variable and function declarations to the top of their scope. Functions and variables are shifted to the top of their scope, regardless of where they are declared inside a scope. It should be noted that although assignments are left in place, hoisting just moves the declaration.
Let us see what is hoisting in JavaScript. Before going to the practical, let us understand what exactly hoisting will do. Hoisting, in simple words, is pulling up something to the top. The same in JavaScript, it is a behavior that moves a variable declaration and function declaration to the top on the scope before executing the code. That is the key point here. When you declare a variable or a function using the keyword var, that declaration hoisted to the top. Not all. Like for example, if you have the let or constant, it won't work. It will work purely for variable keyword var. Now let us have a simple look of how hoisting will work. Before that, let me have a simple basic structure here. Okay, so now we have the basic structure. Now here, let us say var if name equal to John, where L name equal to Doe. So this is the basic variable declaration here. So now when we're trying to console this, we'll get a value as either console, or we can do the document dot write of f name, and here document dot write of L name. Let me put a semicolon. So the process where you can see John Doe is coming displayed. Now see how the hoisting is working. Let's say for example the same thing here, where let us comment this. So here where f name semicolon, where L name semicolon. So now if you are seeing this, see f name equal to John, L name equal to Doe, and again we are doing the same document, right? Now just save this. See, the value is not displayed, and it might be getting some error here. See, the f name is not declared. This is how the hoisting is happening. Since the variable declaration with the word var will always get hoisted to the top, we can initialize the variable and give the values before even declaring them. That's what the hoisting in a simple way.
Like in every other programming language, functions in JavaScript employ the return statement to send a specified value to the function call. When the return statement is invoked, the program will come to an end. The return statement can only be used within the body of the function, and it is best to position it towards the conclusion of the body of the function because the compiler cannot access any statements following the return statement.